So today my goal is to set out to answer the #1 question I get asked when riding this bike, aside from how much does it cost. And that question is, how far will it go in a charge? There's lots of speculation and guesstimates online, but I really want to know for myself how far I can take this bike on a single battery charge. And not just on flat, smooth ground. I'm going to take it through my neighborhood, up and down some pretty fierce hills, over and over again, as much as I can, and ride this thing from 100% to 0 if I can. My neighborhood's all 25-mile-an-hour roads, so I'm going to cruise between 25 and 30 the whole time, go up and down as many hills as I can. I expect I'm going to have probably a few thousand feet of elevation gain when this is all over. I'm going to track it with the Cyclemeter app, which is a pretty accurate GPS-based app for distance, speed, and for elevation gain. So I'm going to do that now. I expect this could take, hour and a half, 2 hours. We'll see how long the battery goes, and I'll come back with some of my findings. So stay tuned, see how it goes. Beautiful day out here. Test is going well so far. Kind of been doing all I can to vary the amount of hill climbs and basically just the speeds that I'm holding, but so far it seems to be holding up pretty well. I'm really going to see how far this battery goes. I've had it for quite a while now, and I think it's only down to 85% or so. So stay tuned. When I told Eric from Lunacycle I was going to be doing this range test, his first response was basically, "Oh, good luck sitting in a seat that long." And I got to say, man, after an hour of this, he's definitely right. I think the bike is going to outlast my ass. We'll see how this goes. But no, it's going strong. It's always hard to say on video, or at least hard to show, how steep something is. So it's kind of hard for me to show you a grasp for it, but this hill is really fairly steep. I wonder if I show the houses here. I mean, it's a pretty good climb if you see the level of these houses here compared to what we're doing. Here's a good example here, this wall. Let me slow down here for a second. See the bricks in that wall? That's level. So this thing just rips up it, no problem. We're going uphill at 25 to 30 miles an hour uphill. It's great. Got great views now. Going back down. On we go. All right. Can you guess what I'm doing right now? Out of juice. Let's see. Battery showed about 3% when it finally ran out of juice. And yeah, it's display doesn't do anything. It is dead. So we'll get back to the garage here. Luckily, I'm not too far away there. That was pretty smart, just coming back and forth when it got below 5 in front of my house. So we'll get back here and we'll check the Cyclemeter app, which I already stopped, and we'll see what the results were. Stay tuned. All right, so I'm back from my Sur Ron range test ride. It's a heck of a ride. I've got a heck of a sore ass, but it was worth it. Hour and 50 minutes, and I'll put these shots over the camera here as I'm talking now. As you can see, the distance was 39.3 miles, just shy of 40 miles. I was really hoping I was going to hit 40. The trip meter actually showed just over 40, so it's a little off, but not by much considering, so that's pretty good. The average speed that I was hitting was 21.75, which again is about right. I had stop signs in the neighborhood. Up the hills was a bit slower at times, especially the steep ones. Fastest speed was 37.8, down some steep hills. No throttle, just those hills are so steep it gets you almost going 40. Here's one that's impressive, the ascent. 4,850 feet of climbing up and down these hills over and over again. And you can see the graph at the bottom there that shows just these hills over and over and over again. Crazy. This thing almost climbed a mile of elevation gain and went 40 miles on a single battery. That's really impressive. If you had just straight flat ground and you're cruising 25 to 30, this thing could probably easily take you 50, 60 miles. These hills are brutal. I'm 185 pounds, just for reference. So if you're lighter than that, who knows what your range could be. If you're heavier, it's a bit less. But this is a good baseline for those who are curious what they can expect. Once I got to 3% battery, it did cut out. It started to kind of skip a little bit here and there, and then it finally just died and the battery display went off and I couldn't do anything. So when you get below 5%, get ready for that to happen. If you're below 10%, I would say get close to your destination or back to your vehicle or back home. It wasn't too bad pushing it, but I only went 100 yards. If I was a mile away, it probably would have sucked a bit. Being this battery is completely dead now, when I plug the charger in, the charger actually doesn't even recognize it. So what we'll do is show you next the low voltage cutout reset procedure for this pack with this charger, and we'll do that right now. Thanks. Alright, so after the range test was complete, I found the battery was completely dead, of course, which was my goal. But even pushing the button here, you'll see it brings nothing up. It's below the low voltage cutoff, which means that the charger might have a hard time recognizing the bike's even plugged in and start the charge. So you can see even plugging the bike in doesn't start the charge. So there's a trick to this, which I'll show you here in a second. Alright, so I'm going to do here is position the camera so you can see both the lights on the charger and the plug. It's a bit of a tricky sequence that you have to time just right to get this to jump start past the low voltage cutout. So watch carefully. So you want to plug it in. Again, your battery is plugged into your bike at this point. Alright, you're going to see it flashing red and green. Unplug it and then plug back in again real quick. You're going to see it flash red. Let it flash red until it goes solid red. When it goes solid red, unplug and plug back in once again, and the bike should start charging. So blinking, 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 blinking. Okay, unplug, back in again. You can hear the charger kick up probably. See the fan spinning. Now you're going to see it stop for a second, and it's going to kick right back on. There it is. Kick back on. And now, there you go. Now it is showing its charge. So away we go. So that's how you get this charger past the low voltage cutout.